Hi students, welcome back to Renal Tutorials. Let's now talk about structure of nephron. Structure of nephron. Nephron is also called uriniferous tubule. The length of nephron is 30 to 55 millimeters or centimeters. In the sense, millimeters. In terms of centimeters, 3 to 5.5 centimeters in length. Nephron is a structural and functional unit. Of kidneys. The structural and functional unit of kidneys. And each kidney contains 1 million of nephron. Therefore, 2 kidneys contains 2 millions of nephrons. Two millions of nephrons. The nephron consists of three parts. So, what are the parts of this nephron? Number 1 is called renal capsule or renal tubule collecting ducts. These are the three parts of nephron. Let's see the renal capsule. So, renal capsule consists of two parts called Bowman capsule and glomerulus. Bowman capsule and glomerulus. Let's take the Bowman capsule. Bowman capsule, it is a cup shape, double layered cup shaped structure. It consists of two layers, outer and inner. Outer layer is called parietal. Parietal layer or membrane. Inner one is called visceral membrane. Visceral layer. The parietal layer is made up of squamous epithelium, squamous epithelial tissue or epithelial cells, and a visceral is made up of a special type of cells called podocytes. It is a brush border, foot-like brush border cells. Now this coming to the glomerulus, this is the first part. Now the second part of the renal capsule is glomerulus. So glomerulus, it is a tuft capillaries, tufts capillaries are formed by efferent and efferent arterioles. Efferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. So efferent arteriole and efferent arterioles are the entry of this glomerulus part is efferent arteriole and leave out of this part is called efferent arteriole. So, and where exactly the filtration can be done? So glomerulus filtrate, that means in glomerulus where exactly filtration takes place. So glomerulus filtrate membrane is consist of three parts. They are called endothelium, basal membrane, middle is basal membrane, and inner is epithelium. There are three layers. Outer endothelium, middle basal membrane, inner is epithelial membrane. That means this is for a while take it is endothelium, basal membrane, and this is epithelium, and this is endothelium. So this is a filtrate membrane. This we can call it as a filtrate membrane. This is called endothelium. This is called basal membrane. Basal membrane. Let's see this. I hope it's not to be visible, so we can see a little extent the above. The membrane, glomerulus membrane, is consist of three layers: endothelium. Oh, sorry, this is already written. Let us see the water diagramic representation. This is think basal membrane. This is epithelium. And this we can think is endothelium. So this is called basal functional glomerulus membrane. They are called, this is epithelium, this is basal membrane, this is endothelium, and this part we can call it as the epithelial cells. These are, we can say, these are called podocytes. Special cells are called podocytes. And these are fenestra, this opening part. This part is called fenestra. This opening between the cells, and this part we can call it slit pore. So the functional glomerulus membrane consists of 3 layers, as we said, endothelium, basal membrane, and epithelium. Hope you all understand this. Now let's go with the next. So renal capsule consists of 2 parts, Bowman capsule and glomerulus. And the Bowman capsule is a double cup-shaped like structure. Consists of 2 layers, outer layer and inner layer. Outer layer is parietal membrane, inner is called this visceral. A parietal layer is made up of squamous. That means it is made up of squamous epithelium, and it is lined with visceralis podocytes. The special types of cells called podocytes, and this is said to be a functional glomerulus membrane, or filtrate or filter a membrane. Filter membrane. Now let's go on to the next one, is the second part, that is called the renal tubules. So structure of nephron is a structural functional unit of kidney. Its length is 30 to 55 millimeters in size. In terms of centimeters, 3 to 5.5 centimeters. And each kidney contains 1 million of nephron, and both the kidneys containing 2 million of nephrons. And each nephron consists of 3 parts. They are like renal capsule or Malphizian capsule, and other one is called renal tubule and collecting ducts. And renal capsule consists of 2 parts, a Bowman capsule, double layered cup-like structure, and glomerulus mesh or a tough capillary, which is formed by efferent and arterioles. And the glomerulus filtrate membrane consists of 3 layers. They are called endothelium, basal membrane, and podocytes. The space present between endothelium is called fenestra, and the space present between the podocytes or epithelium is called as slit pores. It's called slit pores. Alright, now coming back to what the second part of nephron is, The second part is called renal tubule. Renal tubule. So renal tubule consists of three parts. They are, number one is PCT, means proximal convoluted tubule. And secondly, a loop of Henle or Henle's loop or loop of Henle is a hairpin like structure. And third one is DCT, and distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule. So let's see the what this is the Bowman capsule. This is open into coiled tubule called PCT, and is open into a U-shaped tubule, which we can call it as Henle's loop. Henle's loop. Here in between capillaries, about about 50 capillaries. This we can say that efferent and efferent arteriole. Efferent arteriole. Collecting ducts. This is the structure of nephron. Let's see the parts one after one. This is called efferent arteriole, which carries the blood from the kidney, renal artery. So from the heart, renal artery carries blood from heart, and then before it enters into the kidneys, it is divided into branch called renal artery. The renal artery, it is to be split into branch we can call the efferent arterioles. This efferent arteriole is wider in lumen is wider than compared to what efferent arteriole. This is what efferent arteriole. Efferent arteriole. This is a Bowman capsule, a double-layered cup-like structure. Bowman capsule, and this part we can say that dotted line now is call it as a cortical part of nephron. This is a cortex or cortical part of nephron, and this is called the medullary part of nephron. Medullary part of nephron. Now this is open into, Bowman capsule is open into a coiled twisted tubule called PCT. It present in the cortex part of kidney, and this one is called descending limb. Descending limb, and this is called ascending limb. Ascending limb. Now this is open into again coiled tubule called DCT, distal convoluted tubule. This open into a collecting duct. Collecting duct, and this is called duct of Bellini. So all these collecting ducts are open and form a large tubule, which we can call it as duct of Bellini. So now look at a glance again the renal tubule. Renal tubule is consists of three parts. They are called PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, which lies in the cortex of kidney, and loop of Henle, this present in the medullary part of kidney, and DCT is a distal convoluted tubule, again it present the cortical part of kidney. Let's take the PCT. PCT. So PCT, as we said, the PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, PCT. PCT, it is proximal convoluted tubule. It is a coiled tubule, twisted, coiled and twisted, present in cortical part of cortex part of kidney. The wall of this PCT, it is made up of cuboidal epithelium, it bears microvilli like a brush border, but not exactly, but microvilli, finger-like projections, and it is mainly meant for absorption, selective reabsorption, selective absorption. Selective materials are reabsorbed from this PCT like glucose, amino acids, hormones. Some of the salts like sodium, potassium are selectively absorbed over there. So PCT is a coiled twisted tubule. A coiled twisted tubule present in the cortex of kidney. The wall of these PCT is made up of cuboidal epithelium, and inside the cells they have the microvilli, the cuboidal epithelial cells having the villi, and it is mainly concerned with the selective reabsorption of the materials like the selective reabsorption like material like glucose, amino acids, salt, hormones, and some of the salts, etc. Now let's go on to the next one, is called DCT. Henle's loop. Henle's loop, this part we can call it as hairpin like structure. Henle's loop. Here it is a hairpin like structure. It's a hairpin like structure. It is connected to what two limbs at the bottom. It comprises, is made up of two limbs. Both of them are connected the basal parts. Having two limbs, the limbs like descending limb, and ascending limb. So descending limb. So this is a descending limb, and this is called ascending limb. Now let's take for descending limb a descending limb. So descending limb is narrow or thinner. It is a thinner. It present below the PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. So proximal convoluted tubule is open into long tube-like structures called descending limb. This is present the medullary part of kidney. It is a thinner in terms of the wall of this ascending limb. The wall of descending limb is made up of squamous epithelium. So squamous epithelium, the wall is lined with the squamous epithelial tissue or epithelial cells, and this descending limb, the wall is impermeable to salts, like sodium, potassium, chloride, etc. And it is a permeable. The wall is permeable to water. So descending limb is a thinner, present below the PCT, and the location is medullary part of kidney, and the wall is lined with squamous epithelial tissue. The wall is impermeable to the salts like sodium, potassium, and chloride, and it is permeable to water. That means the membrane, the wall of this, permeable to water. So water is reabsorption, and impermeable to the salt. So therefore the salt content will be increases in this descending limb. So the urine is become hypertonic in this descending limb, as because of the salts content it will be increases, water will be reabsorption, only salts remain. So therefore the osmolarities keep on increases. So therefore concentrated urine is formed in the descending limb, very important for the NEET level. Got it? And now coming to what descending limb. The descending limb, it is against what ascending limb is this against what this descending limb. As we learned the descending limb. Now let's go with the ascending limb. This is quite opposite, mean antagonistic to, we can say that antagonistic to what the descending limb. It is a wider, the wall is become a wider, and it present same like in the medullary part of nephron. Medullary part of nephron, the wall is made up of cuboidal epithelium. This is cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium, and impermeable, the wall is become impermeable to water. Impermeable to water and permeable to salts. Permeable to salts like sodium, potassium, chloride, and so on. Here descending limb, water permeable. Where the water ascending limb is? So water impermeable. So descending limb is a salts impermeable. Here the salts are permeable. So antagonistic to each other. So therefore the descending limb is a wider. This contains the more amount. It contains more and more water is there. So therefore urine become dilute. Here in the sense water has become less. So therefore what happens? Urine become hypertonic. This is what the hypo. This is what the hypertonic. Hypertonic urine, hypotonic urine. Hope you understand now. So coming back to next one is called descending limb, DCT. The DCT, it presents again the cortex. It lies in the cortex, lying the cortex of a kidney. This is also coiled twisted tubule, coiled and twisted tubule. It is comprises wall is cuboidal epithelium, and this part is mainly concerned with tubular secretion. So tubular secretion takes place in takes place in DCT. So DCT is a twisted and coil, thus in the cortex of kidney. The wall is lined with cuboidal epithelium and mainly concerned with tubular secretion. As it mentioned tubular secretion, so it is a permeable to salts. So permeable to salts and impermeable to water. Permeable to salts and impermeable to water, that is DCT. So that is about a renal tubule. So renal tubule is consists of three parts called PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, Henle's loop, and distal convoluted tubule. So PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, it is present below the Bowman capsule, present the cortex, is coiled and twisted. It is mainly concerned with the selective reabsorption. And the wall of this cube made up of cuboidal epithelium and having brush border microvilli are present. Now coming to the next one is called the loop of Henle. The loop of Henle is a hairpin-like structure. The two hairpins are joined. It consists of two limbs. They are descending limb and ascending limb. Both of them are joined the basal part of this Henle's loop. Their descending limb, PCT, is open into a narrow tubule is called descending limb. This descending limb is a thinner present below the PCT. The wall becomes squamous epithelium and impermeable to salts like sodium, potassium, and permeable to water. So therefore, hypertonic urine is formed in which limb of Henle's loop means a very important point is descending limb. And coming to the ascending limb, it is antagonistic to descending limb. So it is a wider, the wall is become thicker or wider, and the wall is comprises or made up of ascending limb like cuboidal epithelium, impermeable to water. Water is not allowed to reabsorption, and the salts are permeable. Salts are permeable. That means from here the salts will move on out. Sodium is move out, potassium is move out, chloride is move out. But here what is there? The salts will not allow. So sodium reabsorption or else chloride absorption, that means movement to inside, that is the movement to outside. And coming to next one is called this descending limb is open to again a cortical part of kidney is a long coil twisted tubule is called the DCT, distal convoluted tubule. This distal convoluted tubule, as we said that distal convoluted tubule, this part is so it is present below the cortex, cortical part of kidney. So it's a coiled and twisted. The wall is made up of cuboidal epithelium. It's mainly concerned with the tubular secretion. What is tubular secretion? That we'll see in the next class. That means the removal of waste nitrogenous waste materials from the blood of nephric filtrate into the water capillary, into this water DCT. So that is to be what I call it as tubular secretion. That part we'll see in the next video in detail. And coming back to the next one is called collecting duct. Now DCT is open into a collecting duct. The collecting duct is present again the what medullary part of nephron, collecting duct. So let's see the what collecting duct. Collecting duct. This collecting duct DCT is joined with DCT. This is called collecting duct. So DCT, distal convoluted tubule, joins the collecting ducts, and the many ducts, large number of ducts are open. Will be unite and form a big duct or large duct. That is called duct of Bellini. Duct of Bellini. So collecting ducts, DCT joined, these are called DCT joined to form collecting duct. Many of collecting ducts are like 10 to 20 collecting ducts are joined to form a large duct. The duct is called duct of Bellini. duct of Bellini. This duct of Bellini is open. It's open into a renal pelvis. That means before the renal pelvis is open to what the medullary part of that is called renal pyramids. Renal pyramid to what the renal papillae. From papillae to what the renal pelvis. Is from the pelvis is open into ureter. Ureter to urinary bladder. Urinary bladder to urethra. It releases out urine. So that is called collecting ducts. So collecting duct, the DCT joins form collecting ducts. Many collecting ducts like 10 to 20 collecting ducts are joined, branches will unite and form a big tube that is called duct of Bellini. In this duct of collecting ducts, what is the main purpose of this collecting ducts means? Here urine becomes hypertonic, reabsorption of water takes place. That also we'll see in the formation of urine. This is mainly concerned with reabsorption of water. So water is reabsorption is taking place here. That is why the urine will not be expelled out more amount of urine. So per day normal man releases 1.2 to 1.7 liters of urine. But in this collecting duct with the help of the hormone called antidiuretic hormone, so the water is reabsorption, so therefore the urine becomes hypertonic. That we'll see in the next video, that is formation of urine. So hope you all understand this. So nephron is consists of what three parts. Number one is what we can call renal capsule, renal tubule, and collecting ducts. So if you like this video, please share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.